Mental disorder is that where a person is not competent to discharge his legal duties or not aware of the legal implication of his behavior according to the law of land. Unsoundness of mind, insanity, lunacy, and madness are synonymous terms. Here I highlight the term behavior. The spectrum of normal behavior considered to be depends on so many factors: national, cultural, social, ethical, religious, etc. Any definition of normality must be extremely wide for any given population. Thus, a abnormal behavior and behavior due to disorder of the mind are not one and the same thing. Not everyone whose behavior is abnormal is suffering from disorder of mind. On the other hand, it is untrue that everyone with the disorder of the mind will behave abnormally. Mental disorders, internationally classified with the two broad classifications. One is the ICD-10 by WHO, the International Classification of Disease, which are revised, and second is the Diagnostic and Static Manual of the Mental Disease. 4 and even 5 version is still in the books. DSM-4, 5. This is based on the American Psychiatric Association. This is discuss these in detail beyond the scope of third year. This is the work done by the psychiatrist. You know, people should know at least the two main international classification of the mental disorders. Civil responsibilities of mentally ill person. Once a person is labeled insane, he loses his civil rights because insanity affects civil rights of patient due to defective judgment. These civil rights are competence of individual to give evidence, to make a valid business contract, to enter into marriage, sue for damages. The term damage and damages or the legal terms. Damage means physical suffering, and damages is a compensation awarded to that physical suffering. The damage is not plural for the damage. So damages is the compensation awarded for the damage. Holding driving license, voting, holding office. Holding office, one cannot be a registrar of the university, vice chancellor of the university, director of any institute. This is known as holding office if he is not mentally fit. In spite of that, there are certain rights of mentally ill person. He has a right of treatment, privacy right, communication rights, visitation rights, and more special is the right of habeas corpus. A right of habeas corpus. The writ of habeas corpus, it is a written command by the court to compel the other legal institutes regarding the detained person. The writ of habeas corpus consists of orders of court compelling the hospital authorities to release the patient on non-court related confinement. If hospital objects, issue is immediately taken up to see whether it is proper to retain or detain the patient or not. Criminal responsibilities of the mentally ill person. When a person commits an unlawful act, he/she may be liable for the consequences because of his/her lack of criminal responsibility. Therefore, a plea of mental illness is brought forward in charges of unlawful acts, murder, qatl, in order to escape capital punishment. Whether this plea of mental illness is true or bogus, this all issue is resolved with the help of the psychiatrist, a forensic psychiatrist. The role of psychiatrist who assess, examine, treat, and certified mental illness and also differentiate between true and feigned insanity. The mentally ill persons or mentally ill criminals, they not fall in strictly into criminal justice system. There is a diversion from the criminal justice system. In criminal justice system, a wrongdoer is punished to give relief to the victim's family. But here there is a diversion from the criminal justice system because there is a growing recognition that mentally disorder offenders are best dealt with by treating their mental disorder outside the criminal justice system where possible and appropriate. Crime and mentally ill person. In criminal responsibility, one should know what is crime and what is the component of crime, why these mentally ill person do not fall within the criminal justice system. A crime is an unlawful act which is an offense against the public and renders the person guilty of the act, liable to legal punishment. A mentally ill person is not guilty of the act if the act is done due to his disease of mind. Crime has two main components, mens rea and actus reus, a Latin phrase which means evil intention, which is the prerequisite to guilt and thus a condition precedent to liability of the crime. Actus reus is a Latin phrase which means evil action. It follows execution of the evil intention. Law does not punish for evil intention. Punishment is only awarded for the harmful results, that is, actus reus. In the absence of either of the two, either mens rea or actus reus, the crime cannot be considered as committed. In mentally ill person, most of the time mens rea is lacking. Actus reus is there, but there is no mens rea. There are certain provisions in the law for the criminal responsibility. This general presumptions and exemptions in law. What law generally presume that everyone is sane and responsible for his actions. Everyone is innocent until proved otherwise, until proved guilty. Benefit of doubt goes in favor of accused. These are the general presumptions. During the court proceeding, if any doubt exists, the matter is resolved in the favor of accused. This is known as benefit of doubt goes in favor of accused. And there are three general exemptions in law, namely insanity, immaturity, intoxication. They governed by the Pakistan Penal Code Section 84 for insanity, Section 82 for immaturity, and Section 85 for intoxication. Section 84. Nothing is an offense which is done by a person who at the time of doing it by the reason of unsoundness of mind is incapable of knowing the nature of the act, or that he is doing what is either wrong or contrary to the law. The same description for the remaining section 82, 85. Nothing is an offense done by a person who at time of doing it by reason of immaturity instead of unsoundness of mind, whose age is under 7 years. Same, nothing is an offense which is done by the person who has time of doing it by the reason of intoxication, incapable of knowing the nature of the act, provided that he become intoxicated without his will and intent. Insanity refers to a condition in which individuals cannot take care of themselves due to mental disorder, are not competent to discharge their legal duties, are not aware of the legal implication of their behavior. So, the plea of insanity is raised. If established in the court of law, it results in three verdicts: unfit to plead, not guilty by reason of insanity, diminish responsibility. Unfit to plead. A defendant will be deemed unfit to plead if he/she suffer from a mental disorder that renders him/her unable to understand court proceeding, understand why he or she was accused, challenge the juror to whom he might object, instruct liar acting in his defense. A mentally person is labeled as unfit to plead when he did not understanding these four main criteria: why he was being accused, why, what are the court proceeding, cannot instruct the liar acting in his favor, cannot challenge the juror to whom he must raise objection. A person who does not know or understand the nature of pleading, the court proceedings get suspended till such time that defendant's sanity is restored. Not guilty by reason of insanity. In your book, the old verdict is written. This is a revised verdict of criminal proceeding. Formerly, it was guilty but insane. That is written in your book, which was rather a contradiction in itself. Again, look at the board and words, guilty but insane. When you label somebody as guilty, there is no role of insanity or sanity. The insane person is not guilty of his act because these acts are products of his mental disorder. If the accused is sufficiently comprehending to stand trial, he may be found not guilty by reason of insanity. Then the defense has to prove that the accused was insane at the time he committed the offense. This is a condition where accused may be sane at the time of commission of crime, but subsequently he became insane at the time of proceeding. Diminished responsibility is applicable to defendant who is not completely absolved of his guilt, absolved free from the blame, but the severity of his sentence is mitigated or somewhat reduced. These are the three possible verdicts, and this is typically known as diversion from the criminal justice system. The legal test for criminal responsibility. Both medical and legal authorities are in accord that no test presently employed is perfect to resolve the issue of criminal responsibility. There have been no reforms in spite of this accord in many of majority of countries. The test is known as McNaughton rule is still prevailing to establish lack of responsibilities. Of these four, the most important is McNaughton rule, irresistible impulse rule, Durham rule, and Curran's rule. McNaughton rule. The defense has to prove that at the time of commission of crime, number one, accused was suffering from a defect of reason. That the defect of reason was due to a disease of mind. That due to disease of mind, he did not know the nature and quality of his act. That if he did know that, he did not know he was doing what was wrong. That if he did know it, that he did not know he was doing what was wrong. Somewhat complicated. There is a background of this McNaughton rule. Just listen, then you can understand. Accused was suffering from defect of reason. Defect of reason was due to disease of mind. Daniel McNaughton, 29 years old Scotsman, had delusions that spy sent by Catholic priest with help of Tories. Tories was the Conservative Party formed by the Sir Robert Peel, was the first founder of the party, a ruling party in United Kingdom. Present leader of Tories party is Boris Johnson. Were constantly following him, harassing him, and hatching conspiracy against him. That McNaughton had delusion that somebody watching him, harassing him, and hatching conspiracy against him. The Daniel McNaughton also had auditory hallucinations that Tories were accusing him of crimes of which he was not guilty or he did not commit it. Under influence of the mental disorder resulted in delusions and auditory hallucinations, he decided to kill Tories Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel. Not knowing Robert Peel by sight, and he killed personal secretary Henry Drummond, who was leaving the Prime Minister residence. Accused was suffering from defect of reason. As This defect of reason based on delusions and auditory hallucinations. Defect of reason was due to disease of mind, a mind disorder that causes auditory hallucination and delusions. So here the mens rea is lacking, but actus reus is there. Not guilty by reasons of insanity was the judgment given in this case. Previously, we read section 84, Pakistan Penal Code 84, based upon these rules. McNaughton was sent to Bethlehem Hospital for life. This is what called diversion from the criminal justice system. He should be kept in safe custody for treatment of his mental disease. Irresistible impulse rule. Durham's rule and Karen's rule. Defendant, by reasons of disease of mind, would have acted as he did even had a policeman being standing at his side. This is known as irresistible impulse rule. The impulse are so provoking that a person is not resistible. So called irresistible impulse rule, one can commit crime in the presence of the law enforcement agencies. Durham rule. An accused is not criminally responsible if his unlawful act is the product of mental disease. Karen's rule. Accused is not criminally responsible if at the time of committing the act he did not have the capacity to regulate his conduct to the requirement of law as a result of mental disease or defect. Short overview of Mental Health Ordinance 2001 is not written in your books. This law ordinance amend the previous laws of Mental Asylum Act 1858 and Lunatic Act 1912. Mental Health Ordinance 2001 replaces Lunatic Act and Lunatic Asylum Act. And some of the terms replaces previously known as mental asylum, lunatic, criminals, wandering lunatic. They are replaced by the mentally ill person, mentally ill prisoner, psychiatric hospitals, like that. Mental asylum replaces by psychiatric hospital, lunatic by mentally ill person, criminal, mentally ill prisoner, and mentally ill person found at public place is a wandering lunatic. This is important from your examination point of view, the BCQ. Assessment and treatment. For the purpose of this ordinance, there are 4 types of detention of a patient, namely admission for assessment 28 days, for treatment 6 months, urgent admission 72 hours, and emergency holding 24 hours. Section 10 of Mental Health Ordinance define the period for assessment, that is 28 days. Section 11 defines the period of detention for treatment up to 6 months from the date of application, which is also renewable. If the condition of the patient is not improving, the application is renewable for further 6 months. Section 12, urgent admission shall up to 72 hours for the time of application made in respect of patient. Section 13, detention and care of patient for the purpose of emergency holding a lady in hospital shall be up to 24 hours from the time of application. Section 14, the emergency powers, where in case of emergency, a medical practitioner is unable to obtain informed consent in writing, he may administer treatment notwithstanding the provision of Section 51 that, in his professional opinion, is necessary to save the life of the patient, preventing serious deterioration of his condition, alleviating serious suffering by the patient, or preventing the patient from behaving violently or being a danger to himself or to others. Keeping in mind, a doctor, psychiatrist, or medical officer in charge can give treatment without consent. Discharge of a patient. Section 21. Discharge of patient by psychiatrist in charge of the treatment of patient. Section 22. Application by the patient for discharge. 23. A detained person found not to be mentally disordered after assessment. Section 24. A duty of hospital management to inform relatives of the discharged patient. Section 25. Application for discharge to magistrate or through the court. This is what called habeas corpus. Management of the person and property. Section 32. For appointment of guardian to take care of the mentally ill person. And Section 33. For appointment of a manager to take care of the property of mentally disordered person. Mental illness is not contagious. You cannot catch it by being kind. Stop the stigma of mental illness. Due to this mental stigma, most of the people do not want to visit psychologists, psychiatrists, and they choose other methods what previously shown in the figures. Good morning. Today we discussing forensic psychiatry. Forensic psychiatry. Before going on forensic psychiatry, first define psychiatry, the branch of medical science which deals with the study, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of mental illness. Forensic psychiatry that deals with the application of knowledge of the psychiatry for the purpose of law for furthering of justice. In other words, we can say that forensic psychiatry is the subspecialty of psychiatry involved in the assessment and treatment of individuals who come into conflict with the law. The interaction between mental health and criminal behavior and the resulting contacts with the police, criminal justice system, and the prisons are extremely complex. And most of this fall within work of field of forensic psychiatry. Unfortunately, forensic psychiatry is one of the least developed field of both forensic medicine and psychiatry. Neither a forensic expert is ever seriously interested, encouraged in this subspecialty, nor a psychiatrist is ever interested to be well conversant with the relevant